Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you putting us on your calendars and giving us a portion of your day. This is Jay Grant. I am the Executive Director of LISC of Hampton Roads, and we are happy to talk with you today about the VBthrive Small Business Program. But first, we want to just tell you a little bit about LISC, and also we're happy that we've got a partner from United Way of Southampton Roads, and we'll mention that in a moment. But LISC is a national nonprofit organization, initiative support corporation, and we're based out of New York City. We have 38 offices across the country, and we are one of the 2 offices in Virginia. So there's also a Richmond-based office. And LISC is a very broad-based community development organization serving small businesses, providing affordable housing production. We are a CDFI, Community Development Finance Institution. So again, we conduct lending operations. But this program, as you all know, is a grant program where small businesses are eligible for up to $50,000, and we'll talk more about that soon. But we are we're gracious again that you are here today. I want to introduce Trevellis Lewis. He's the Community Outreach and Engagement Manager at United Way of Southampton Roads. And Trevellis is actually going to talk with us about the VBthrive Resource Center. And this is not to be confused with the VBthrive Business Relief Grant Program that you're here today for. But we thought this would be a good time as United Way of Southampton Roads and LISC are partnering in this program, as well as, of course, the City of Virginia Beach. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Trevellis again to speak briefly about the VBthrive Resource Center, and then we'll hear from Rosalind Wolf about the VBthrive Business Relief Grant. So Trevellis, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Trevellis Lewis from the United Way of Southampton Roads. So I am currently here in our VBthrive Resource Center. Like you said, there's difference between the Business Relief Grant and what United Way does. United Way's responsibility is for the mobility mentoring piece of the grant. So within that, we set up this resource center that I will show you guys around here. So what we've done is we partner with the library here in Town Center, Virginia Beach, in order to occupy some of the space they've had unutilized. So what we've done is we've created spaces for people to come in and fill out referral forms for either the mobility mentoring portion or the business grant portion. We have printers and things like that for them to be able to utilize to scan and print outside of the library's resources, things like that. Back here, we have walls where we put all the resources and events and things like that happening in the city. So as you can see, there's things for job upskilling and senior services and just different postings for jobs and different things like that. And over here in our news and events, we have different things coming up in the community here shortly. Advertising, of course, the business relief grant portion of our program. And then we have spaces over here where our mentors come and mentor the participants who come through the program and give them more information and things of that nature. So this space, like I mentioned, is open to anyone in the public who wants to come by, get more information, or figure out what it is they need to do to take the next steps. So we are located at, like I said, the Central Library in Town Center, 4100 Virginia Beach Boulevard. We are on the 2nd floor. We're open Monday through Thursdays from 11 to 6, Fridays from 11 to 5, and the first Saturday of every month from 10 to 1. So thank you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. I'll now turn it over to Rosalind Wolf to talk more about the VBthrive Business Relief Grant.
Thank you, Trevellis. I was on mute again. That's really great to see. I'm glad you showed the space and where folks can go. I'm encouraging people to utilize the space. And if you aren't someone that needs the space yourself, please advertise the space, the resource for folks to use. Just to, again, we're all competing. Let's compete on how we get folks to improve their situation in life. So I am Rosalind Wolf. I'm the program officer for LISC Hampton Roads, and I am thanking everyone for being here with us today. We're going to talk about the VBthrive Business Relief Grant Program. The website is up on your screen right now. We encourage you to visit lisc.org/Hampton Roads to get more information. We wanted to hold this webinar so that you have some people that you can ask and get answers from in real time. So I appreciate you all being here once again. So the first thing I want to do is acknowledge United Way and the city of Virginia Beach for making this possible. They are our partners in this in order for us to all work to help to get businesses in recovery or out of recovery from COVID-19 and all that took place. So and that's the purpose of this grant. We want to be sure that we're providing opportunities for people, for businesses to continue to thrive in this community. If you go to our website, you have eligibility criteria here. This is only for for-profit businesses. It is not open to nonprofits, and all business structures are accepted. You just cannot be a nonprofit. You must have been in operation before January 1st, 2020. That is a sticking point. And that's going to be the case for many of our grants or loan programs that LISC does, that you have to be in operation for at least 2 years. We do need your tax returns from 19 and 20 because you have to show a 15% decrease in revenue between 2019 and 2020 in order to qualify for the grant. And so we use those again to just make sure that we have that 15% loss in revenue. You must be at least 18 years of age. And if you have multiple businesses, which many people do, we are encouraging you. You can only apply for one business. You can only get the grant once. So we'll have, we had a first round early spring. This is our second round of VBthrive, but you can only qualify for the grant one time. So if you are someone that has multiple businesses, please apply for your largest business because the amount that you get is based on the amount of employees. So if you have one business that has 2 employees and one that has 10, we're encouraging you to apply for the one that has 10 if it meets all the other eligibility requirements. The eligible use of funds for this grant, you can use it for a number of things, between wages and benefits, any inventory, your rent, operational costs. You cannot use it to pay off taxes or to start a business, but everything else, there are many, many other options that are under this purview. And that's why we put other operational costs so that it can encompass lots and lots of things. Excuse me. We are allowing you to send us expenses to show what you need to pay for from March of 2021 to June 30th of 2022. So we have 2 separate pieces here. So people often get confused. You have to show your taxes from 19 and 20. So you have to have filed them. And it needs to show a 15% loss in revenue. That's one side of it. The other, though, is we are allowing you to send us expenditures that you have incurred from March 2021 all the way to June 2022. So if you have rent or past due bills that aren't from 2019, that's okay. You can, use one that you incurred this year up to June 30th, 2022. And we will take those and use that as documentation for why you need these funds. If you have any questions on that, please put them in the chat and we will answer them at the end of our session. Again, you can only apply for the grant once. If you apply for the VB relief last year, you can still apply for the VBthrive grant this year. You are eligible. So please, if you received money from us last year, please throw in your hat and send us an application in for this year. And if you, again, go to our website, this is how you apply. If you scroll down, you have the application information. We are open until August 31st of 2022 at 11:59 p.m. So you have until then to push submit on your application. When you go to submit your application, you'll fill out your business information and answer questions, and then you'll also attach all the documentation that you need to provide to qualify for this grant. If you have a problem with that process, please email us and we will help you. We know some folks have had an issue submitting documentation. If you apply and you realize, oh, I forgot to submit this, or I wanted to include that, no problem. Just send us an email and we'll get that uploaded for you. But we do want you to use the portal so that everything is done at once to upload all your documentation. It's only if you have problems uploading that you should reach out to us directly so that we can help you. One of the other sticking points we've had for this grant is obtaining a Uei number, a unique entity identifier, and that is now required for any federal funds. These funds are given to us through ARPA monies, which is federal, which is why you need to have your Uei. I looked myself on a webinar at sam.gov. I will put that link in the chat so that everyone can have it. This just tells you how to go about getting the Uei. If it's supposed to be an automatic process from what the website says. So you go in and you either can register your entity, your organization, or just get a Uei. You do not have to do both. If you register your entity, then that's for folks who had direct contracts with the federal government. Most folks applying for this grant, if you don't do business with the federal government or you aren't trying to get a bid with them, you will be fine in just getting your Uei. And that is what the process you should do. Again, it's supposed to be an automatic process. The issue has come up that if your information doesn't match exactly to what the federal government has, then you have to contact customer support. Barring that, you should be able to get it right away. And if you had a DUNS number, which was the number that used to be used for working with the federal government, then again, they say you should have an automatic Uei. You just have to go in and check your account. If you're having an issue with that, unfortunately, LISC cannot help you. That is a SAMS.gov issue, and you need to contact their customer support. So please do that because you do need to have that information in order for us to process your application. We won't reject it, but it will be in a pending status, which means we can't give you any monies until we do have that. If there are any the reasons to be denied, so let's go over that. So if your business isn't old enough, is it past that January 1st, 2020 point, you will be denied. If you can't show that your taxes, you can't say verbally, your taxes need to show that you had a 15% decrease in revenue in order for you to get these monies. You need to have your business registered with Virginia Beach or the state of Virginia. So you have to have your business license and it has to be current. It cannot be expired. We're having some issues with businesses. They're wondering why, and it's because your information isn't up to date, and it needs to be up to date in order to qualify for this grant. That is all that I have to cover. We will now open this up for question and answers from our audience that are in the attendance. So I'm going to switch it over to see if we have any questions so that we can begin to answer.
Yes, and Rosalind, it does look like we already have some in the chat.
Yep, I'm looking right now.
Okay.
So first question, do those expenses have to be in past due status? That is a great question. And I do not think we're requiring them to be in past due status. But please, if you could reach out to me, I can double check on that. But they do not have to be in past due status because you can also submit for rent and your rent doesn't have to be past due. The amount of the grant, excuse me. So the grants are range from $10,000 to $50,000, and they are based on your employee amount of employees that you have. So the more employees you have, the more money, grant money you qualify. But they range from $10,000 to $50,000. Thank you for that question. Yes, so if someone has applied and used their DUNS number, no, we cannot use that number. You will be able to apply for that UEI and just email us and get it over to us and we'll get it updated in the system, yes. Your business has to be registered in Virginia Beach. This is only for businesses based in Virginia Beach. That said, if you are not based in Virginia Beach, but you know someone who is, please send out the information to them. If you're an organization that's with us today and you're not necessarily working Virginia Beach, but you know other folks that are, please pass the resource. But unfortunately, you do have to be based in Virginia Beach, in the city of Virginia Beach. If you submit an application, you should receive a confirmation email. Unfortunately, that happened maybe like 2 weeks in. So if you submit it right at the beginning, you wouldn't have gotten one. But if you have an issue, if you want to know if it was received, my apologies, please send me an email. I'll put my email in the chat because folks should feel free to just shoot me an email and I will check for you to make sure it was submitted. Our process time is a few weeks out because we are processing applications as we get them. So if you are eligible, you will find out. If you already applied, you'll find out this week. And if you're not, you'll also find out this week. But you should from now on receive a confirmation email that we did receive your application. So if you haven't filed your taxes due to financial loss and received additional time from the IRS, can you submit your tax stubs and expenses? I apologize. We need to have your 2019 and 2020 taxes in order to process your application. Now, you can go into pending status, but we won't be able to process it until we have those taxes in hand. So would an insurance broker qualify? Yes. So the type of business you have isn't an issue. With your barbershop, insurance broker, caterer, it's open. You just have to meet those qualifications that's listed on our website. So yes, please apply and tell your friends to apply. We are waiting for more questions to come in. Are there any comments or from the panelists that want to maybe chime in?
There's another question. Is this a taxable grant?
Is it a taxable grant? I don't know. I'm sorry about the tax issue. I would talk to your tax professional for that. If you work in more than one location, including Virginia Beach, but your business license is in Chesapeake, do you qualify? You have to. It is a Virginia Beach-based grant, unfortunately. So you have to have your stuff established here. If you're saying you have multiple locations, then we need to just see that you register with Virginia Beach. We've had this happen before where someone moved, and that's okay. But you have to have it established in Virginia Beach. Have an EIN number, do not have a sales number. I'm not sure. So I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to. The number we need is the UEI number, the unique entity identifier, and your EIN will be something different. And I'm not sure what the sales number is. If you could explain, I will try and address your question. So I would say that we have lots of money to give away, and we want to give it all away to you. So again, I just want to encourage you, if you haven't applied, apply. If you work with businesses, have them apply. If you know some folks, and you're not sure, that's okay. We don't need you to be sure. We need you to apply, and we can work it out together. Again, when you apply, if we need something more from you, we will reach out to you to say, hey, we need more documentation, or we need something clarified. You just won't get a denial. We will reach out to try and work with you. The sales number. So the sales, I think the SCC number, yes, you do need that one, and that's different from the EIN number. So I would say if you wanted to email me and we could talk offline and work through it, I would encourage you to do that, Mr. Dress. Anything from our panelists? I just want to wait a few.
Yeah, I would just mirror what you're saying. I mean, there's a lot of money available right now, and in our talks with small businesses, businesses are still hurting coming out of the pandemic, and that's what this program is really addressing, and that's why we require your 2019 and 20 taxes and all of the other provisions that Rosalind mentioned, because this is technically American Rescue Plan Act money that's flowing through United Way of Southampton Roads and Virginia Beach, and LISC of Hampton Roads is partnering with them to make this happen. But this is pandemic business relief money. We want to see businesses throughout Virginia Beach, like Rosalind said, regardless of the type of industry. I mean, you could be a plumber, electrician, hair salon, nail salon, in the tourism industry, food trucks. I mean, it could be any type of business. Of course, we encourage small women and minority-owned businesses to apply, but it's not limited to those types of businesses. We want to see businesses in the city of Virginia Beach get back to a thriving situation, and like Rosalind said, between $10,000 and $50,000, that's a nice chunk of change that can greatly assist and help you to reach your goals for this year.
So I do see two more questions. I will go over them. Thank you. The Uei requirement. So someone asked if you had an employee who recently left but will be replaced, would the grant take into consideration that a business would use the funds to replace an employee who left? Yes. You just have to show that you had a 15% loss in revenue from 19 to 20, and then you have to have documented expenses of what you are using the money for. And the employee count is between 1 and 250. So even if you're a single, person, you still qualify because it does take into account the owner, contractors, temp employees, part-time employees, etc. The UEI requirements. So we need the UEI number because these are ARPA funds. And I put into the chat, I could put the YouTube link into the chat. Again, there's a webinar or small training you can take to figure out how to use SAMS.gov to get your UEI. It's supposed to be an automatic process unless your information doesn't match exactly, unfortunately. We had one business say that they had an address from 20 years ago. And so because it didn't match, they didn't give the UEI number right away. You have to contact customer support. But if your information matches, you should apply on SAMS.gov and right away be able to get that UEI number. Even if you do take the other route to register your business, it should still be an automatic process to get that UEI number. And again, unfortunately, LISC doesn't have control over that part of things. So you would have to contact customer service to get that, but we do need the UEI in order to process your application. We will keep it, of course. It will just be in pending status until you get that to us.
Actually,
Again,
Russ,
I will just say yes.
I'm sorry. I actually have a quick question for Trevellis. Is application assistance for this particular program something that small business owners could partake in if they stop by and visit the VBthrive Resource Center?
Yes, absolutely. So on our United Ways website, we also have links to both our referral form for the mobility mentoring portion, as well as for the LISC Small Business Relief Grant portion. And we are well versed in the eligibility and things like that. So if someone did stop by and need assistance filling out an application or needed some more information or clarity, then that is something we would be able to help with. Yes.
Great question. Thank you, Trevellis.
Absolutely.
Happy you're here. Again, encouraging folks to use the VBthrive Resource Center. Trevellis is there to help you and is happy to help you, has a great space to help you in. So please utilize that resource. I don't see any more questions that have come in. If you do have questions, comments, criticisms, we'll take them all. Please email me, rwolf, RWOLF, like Frank E, at LISC, LISC.org, and you will, I will reach out to you, respond right away. Again, that email is rwolf with an E at LISC.org for more information. Thank you all for attending, and I will turn it back over to Mr. J. Grant.
Well, Miss Rosalind Wolf, thank you so much. This was, I think, a wonderful time for folks to learn about VBthrive, both the Small Business Relief Program and, of course, the Resource Center. And so we hope that this has been helpful, that it will encourage you to apply, hopefully as soon as possible. Again, the deadline is August 31st. Tell your friends, tell other businesses in your networks. We want to see this money get spent, and we want to see, again, small businesses throughout Virginia Beach to thrive. And like Rosalind said, reach out to her. And if you have questions, if you're on the fence, we would encourage you to apply rather than to stay on the fence, and we can work those things out as Rosalind indicated. And so just reach out to us, please apply, and enjoy the rest of your day. We look forward to seeing your applications. Thank you all.